are heading to Hawaii. I was about to say Disney World. We are heading to Hawaii the first time ever. I have been wanting to go to Hawaii my whole life. When we would visit Disney World, we would visit the different hotels. My parents would have their favorite. My sister would have her favorite. My parents always loved the Grand Floridian and they love it. They love that style. And we would walk into the Polynesian Resort and my heart would skip a beat. I just knew that's where I belonged. I just loved it. I would dream about staying there. When we became DVC members, we made that dream a reality, and it is still my favorite resort. But I feel like nothing is going to top Hawaii. I'm going to share a few videos in this series before we go, and then we will have a vlog series when we go, room tours, food, all the things. So if this is your first video in the series, welcome. There will be lots more to come. I am ecstatic. So I'm going to start off this video with how to get Hawaii ready. So you already know this by the title of this video. How to plan the most epic trip ever. So I'm assuming, and I will do like a breakdown review, all the things after and while we're there. But I have been planning this trip for a long time. We were scheduled to go June of 2020. We all remember what happened in 2020. The world shut down. We had been planning and saving. I love to plan. If you are not a planner and it stresses you out, then maybe having hiring somebody to plan out your trip would be better. But I adore it. I just love it. But travel agents are incredible and they will do all that work for you. But if you are doing your own research or this is one of your stops, watched so many videos I can't even tell you on Hawaii, especially now. Like, we're 3 days out and I'm still, when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, I will watch other people's vlogs on food and shopping. And so I feel like I've already gone. So we had the trip planned out in 2020, world shut down, and now it is 2023 and we are going. So I'm going to walk you through the process, and hopefully this helps you, add some nuggets of information to your planning for Hawaii. But let's talk about how to plan the most epic trip once in a lifetime. I know it's a huge investment. It has been for us, but we've been planning it for so long. There are multiple ways to do it on a budget, and you have to figure out what works best for your family. There are things you can spend so much money on, and there are things that are free. There's just so many options. And so figuring all those out ahead of time, I think, can be really valuable to figure out what is worth paying for and what's not. So the very first thing we had to figure out when planning this trip is, where are we going? There are multiple islands when you go to Hawaii. And so one of the options we were looking at was a cruise. There's a cruise that goes from Vancouver over. I did not want to cross the ocean on a cruise ship, but there is one cruise ship that just island hops from Oahu all the way around and then back. And we loved that idea because we could go to all of the islands, or most of them, and visit them. But I wanted to go and explore the island, and I wanted to just feel, not like we live there, but wanted to find all these little local places and not have to worry about getting back on the ship. So at first, that's what we were really thinking of doing, was the cruise ship, and then discovered, no, I really want to relax and be there on the island, not on the cruise ship. I want to eat the island food, not on the cruise ship. So we both talked about it, and I think my husband and we want to do that maybe our second trip, because I want to see all the islands. But I think inter-island flights are inexpensive. So you have to figure out which island you want to go to. So after the cruise, then we had really settled on Maui, because we had heard that there is a lot to do, and it's tropical and beautiful, and it's just the best of both. It's crowded, but not too crowded. So there's just a lot. So that's kind of my generalization of somebody who's never been there. So take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, because I don't know. I'm just researching, but I haven't done it. So after deciding on Maui, we found out, this channel is called The Disney Mama. There's a Disney resort, and it's in Oahu, or on Oahu. It's called Disney Aulani, and that was it. We were done. I was like, I'm going there. I'm going to the Disney resort, of course. So we were thinking, do we do a split stay between the two islands, and or do we do a split stay Aulani and somewhere else on Oahu? And really, for us and our family, we want to unpack and get settled and relax and not have to pick up and transfer and move, because that's stressful for us. Some people it's not. You could do one night here and there and all over, and that's fine. We wanted to get settled. So we were, once we decided on Oahu, we were going to do 4 nights Aulani, 4 nights Waikiki, so we could do both. But I'm moving on to my next one. So you have to figure out what island. So you already know we're going to Oahu. Then the next thing is figure out your accommodations, like where you're going to stay. So we decided we definitely want to stay at Aulani, but how long, and do we want to do a split stay? Because I've heard if you want to do lots and lots of sightseeing, you can stay somewhere more affordable, cheaper than Aulani because it's pricey, because it's a resort. And you could stay somewhere maybe in Waikiki that would be cheaper. It's very, very busy in Waikiki, and then you could go out and travel and go do all the things on the island and then come back. Well, when we talked about our vacation style as a family, we love to go explore and do things, but we want to come back and relax at the resort. It's one of the things that we love the most about staying on a Disney resort at Disney World is we love to go to the parks, but we love to come back and chill at the resort. It's safe, it's absolutely beautiful, they have activities, there's things for the kids to do, the pools are incredible, and the food is incredible. So all those things matter to us. And so we decided if we're gonna do a split stay, Aulani and somewhere else, that we want to do resorts. And when we started looking at other resorts, not just a hotel, which those were more affordable, the price was not the same as Aulani, but almost. So it wasn't that much more to do Aulani the whole time. So we decided to do 8 nights at Aulani and then fly in our first day in case there's any travel hiccups to not waste the money of that first night at Aulani and stay somewhere else. So we're gonna stay at the Holiday Inn Express in Waikiki, very affordable, has a breakfast included. We're very excited about that. So our first travel day will be in Waikiki. We can walk around Waikiki, check it out. It's very busy. It's definitely not where we're gonna be spending most of our vacation. So I thought that first night and that morning we could be in Waikiki, and then we'll go to Aulani for the rest of it. So there's a lot of hotels. And so I think figuring out the island and where do you wanna stay there, that's very helpful when you look on a map of all the activities, which we're gonna get into in a minute, of figuring out where you want to stay, where you want to go. I mean, it's not too big, so you can travel around. There is traffic, but there's the North Shore, there's Ko'olina, where Aulani is, there's Waikiki, and those are predominantly where people choose to stay. So figuring out where you want to be for your stay. So now you know where we're staying. The next one is figuring out the time of year. This one has a lot of variables too. There's so many variables to this trip. So in the winter, it's cheaper. The weather's a little bit cooler, so I've heard, and there are bigger waves, and there's also whales. So those are the reasons. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but those are the reasons why I would want to go in the wintertime. Cheaper, cooler weather, whales, and bigger waves. It just sounds incredible. I've never seen a whale out in the wild. So again, we're like, okay, we got to come back. We're gonna do the cruise. We're gonna see whales because we're not doing the winter. Because we're going with our children and they're in school, and I want to go when they're out of school so they're not missing class, because as I mentioned, we're going to be gone for 8 days. So the only other option between going in the summer for us then would be spring break or Christmas break. And Christmas break is a little challenging because I don't necessarily want to be on Christmas Day. So spring break is around 7 days and then 2 on either end, so enough time to travel. They'd end up having to miss school. So we just thought, you know what, this would be such a great trip. Everybody would be able to relax if we do it in the summertime. So the summertime has warmer weather, less rain, no whales, not as big of waves, but the kids are out, we can relax, we know that they're done, so that really works out. The next one is to figure out if you want to rent a car. Some people really stack all their activities on a day so that you can go do a lot and rent a car for just a couple days. We, as I mentioned already, we're gonna do an activity every day, and we want to go back and relax at the resort, so we needed a car for the length of stay. There are shuttles you can book, there are limo services you can book. I've seen all kinds of different ways you can get to your resort, and then Aulani has a car rental place right there, so you can rent a car from there. But you have to figure out what works best for you with your car. We definitely want to go and explore. So with the activities, you can book excursions. There are excursions where they'll even pick you up and take you to them, or you can do the research and figure it out on your own and book all of those individually yourself, because a lot of things are free and you don't have to pay for them. For example, Diamond Head is like $5 a person to hike. And so it's not very expensive, but you can pay for a tour to take you and it would be more. Same thing with Pearl Harbor. To book, I think it was $1 because it's through the government website and it's a state park. And so it was like $1 per person. Or you can book a $45 excursion and they'll take you and you can do more and more and more. There's so many activities to do. For example, I mentioned there's hikes, there's Diamond Head, Pearl Harbor, there's the North Shore to go explore, Kulo Ranch, so many places to snorkel and gorgeous beaches, like just so many. I found it really helpful to look at a map of Oahu. I'll show you here. To look at a map at Oahu and then really get an idea of what is where. And then what I did is I kind of tried to draw it out myself. It looks horrible, but I put the places that we were interested in around the map to get an idea of what we wanted to go do and what was near each other. And that could be really, really helpful to see, oh, this is where Matsumoto Shave Ice is, and so is Turtle Beach and Sharks Cove. So we're gonna plan a day around all of that on one day. One of the things that, if you've seen on our vlogs, I shared how we play in New York. One of the things that I didn't plan with New York was food. I planned some, but not a lot. I just, in my head, I guess from watching shows and TV shows and movies, I just figured food places were gonna be everywhere and we would just pop in. And we would just find these incredible eats in New York because that's New York and there's just great food everywhere. But I didn't plan it out and we didn't find those incredible places unless we were intentional. So I did a lot of research on this trip, and the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to watch other people's YouTube videos, vlogs, and then they're like top 10s. There's local people who say it. There's visitors that say it. So many great YouTubers, and I just would watch their videos, and if something sounded like it would be great for my family or I found interesting, I would take note and then figure out where they were located, put their address into my phone, and then draw it from Alani to see, okay, where is this located? Does this work for us? And then what day does this fit on? So every day we have a restaurant that's quick service for the most part, like quick eats, not like expensive sit down because food is very pricey in Hawaii. Every day we're gonna go somewhere, and then every night we're gonna go back to our resort. So we'll be eating at Alani a lot, and across the street there's a ton of like food places in the ABC store that we can eat at. So I'm planning those out too. The last thing before I get to the really fun stuff of how to plan and get ready for your Hawaii trip is your flights. So I wanted, with every fiber of my being, with planning this trip, wanted to fly on Hawaiian. I just envisioned getting on that second plane because we don't live in a place where Hawaii Air goes straight there. We'd have to take like a connecting flight. I just envisioned getting on that second plane and being greeted by people who work for Hawaii Airlines and having the Hawaiian cookies and just feeling like the trip had started once we got on that plane. And where we live, it is 2 flights to get to a Hawaiian Air flight. I mapped it out. If we drove to neighboring cities, I mapped it out and it just does not work. It does not work, and it was more expensive than taking the 2 planes from our local airport. I figured if we drove 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. I mean, I went to every major airport because our airport is just not a major airport. And so it is pricey. But then when I added in the driving, a rental car, a hotel night stay, or driving in a rental car and then flying out, doing it one way there just to get Hawaiian on the way there and then not back, it didn't work for us. But I wish I could have gone Hawaiian. But what we decided on was the best value for our money was this is going to be a really, really long trip. It is, the first flight is 1.5 hours, and then the next flight is 8.5 hours. So I figured the least amount of time on those connecting flights would be important to just get there, and the same thing on the way back. Less chance of issues. We are flying out first thing in the morning, so a 7 a.m. flight out of here, and then flying back, we leave Hawaii. I don't want to leave, so we're leaving at 7:55 p.m. and then we get back home at 11 a.m. the next day. So it's an overnight flight. I figured we could sleep. We're gonna be sad. It's over. Like, we've been planning this for 5 years. So when it comes to preparing for your trip, fun-wise, I feel like this is something my dad really instilled in me growing up was how to enjoy the journey, not just at the destination. So I have enjoyed planning this trip. I think I will as much as I will going. So we have been living Hawaii excitement for a long time. And so it started with the countdown calendar. So this is something my dad did growing up. I don't know if you guys do it or if you've seen one, but we lived in Canada growing up, and we would go to Disney for spring break. Hence the love of Disney I have now. We'd go once a year, and that didn't start until I was like 14. But the winter months in Canada are brutal. At least they were for me and where we lived. And so starting January, we would X off the days until spring break in March. And so it just gave this excitement. So I did the same thing for this trip, and I did it 2.5 months out. So it wasn't too far to X off, but I've been doing it religiously. And on the calendar, I put how many days left. I made it in Canva, and it's been really exciting for me. And then I can tell the family, 1 week from Tuesday, 2 weeks from Tuesday, like however long it's going to take. And that's how I know today. It's like 3 more days until we go. The other thing that really makes it super exciting for us, especially me, is I made a Hawaii playlist on my phone. Some of the songs included like Elvis, songs from Alani. You can download their album, Lilo and Stitch, Moana's theme songs, Hukilau, Lava, Kokomo from the Beach Boys. There's the Jurassic Park theme song. So just songs. Anytime I hear anything Israel, he has some that are really good. There are so many good. The Somewhere Over the Rainbow with ukuleles, like it's just so beautiful. So when we're in the car, or when I'm stressed out, or when I'm having a hard day, I just put on my playlist. I do it all the time. I play it all the time, every day. So the other thing that we do is Hawaii movie nights. So we did this for the countdown going to Hawaii in 2020. This time around, we are doing it again, but we're doing movies once a week. So been doing like movies that are filmed in Kualo Ranch, which is where Jurassic Park was filmed. So we've been doing Jurassic Park. The kids watched the Jurassic cartoon. We watched Kong the other day. Jumanji is tonight. We're going to watch that one. Lilo and Stitch, of course. Moana. There are so many movies. You can Google like what movies are filmed in Hawaii. I've been watching on my own time because nobody else cares. But from the 90s, I found out that Baywatch was filmed in Hawaii. I remember watching Baywatch as a kid and pretending to be a lifeguard outside. Like I thought they were so cool. But there's actually 2 seasons filmed in Hawaii. So I've been watching that on my own, like when I'm doing laundry or whatever. And it's kind of neat because of all the research I've been doing. The places they're going to, I'm recognizing from everybody else's vlogs and YouTube videos. I was telling my husband, I said, I can't imagine how someone would plan a trip like this without a travel agent nowadays, back in the day, because you have no frame of reference before YouTube. Like YouTube has been just gold mine. I mean, I can experience Diamond Head before I go. I can experience Pearl Harbor and get an idea of what these places feel like, look like, how much it costs, what the process is, parking, all of it. I mean, even websites, before the internet, like how would people figure this out? You'd have to go through a travel agent, and it would be so worth it. If you are not a planner and this stresses you out, then totally go through a travel agent. I think there's so much value in that, but I adore this. I adore the planning. So if you're like me, I'm sure you love this. All right. The other thing that we did to prepare for the trip is I bought things ahead of time. So some things for the trip. So I'll do a whole packing video next. I'll share with you guys everything I've packed. And we've been packing the last month and gathering things. But buying clothes for the trip, of course, but I bought Pandora charms on eBay. I bought an Alani one, a pineapple one, and a Stitch one. And I've been wearing it on a Pandora bracelet every day, just to be excited and get into the mood of going to Hawaii. Also got an Alani crystal necklace. I love the crystal necklaces. I also got, I'm wearing this one today. This is the Heart of Tahiti. This is from Two Park Princesses, and I have a discount code. I'll put it down below. I love Two Park Princesses. I'm wearing their earrings too. These are the Mickey ones. Like I adore, they're my favorite jewelry. But I have the Heart of Tahiti and I have the Alani crystal. It's the A for Alani, and it's got all the crystals on it. So I might even layer them and wear the two together. But wearing those to get into the spirit of going. I bought some stuff for our dining room table, and we've been doing Hawaii dinners to go with the Hawaii movie night. So things that have like pineapple or Dole Whip or Pog juice we've been making at home. So Hawaii themed Hawaiian rolls. We've been doing Hawaii dinners once a month and doing it in the dining room. So our dining room is decorated like it's a luau. And so I got a Minnie Mouse from Alani and I got a Stitch from Alani, and then we put some Lays on the table, and I'll show you, it's really cute. But just once a month to try to get ready and in the spirit of things. And then the last thing I wanted to share with you is something I'm very proud of, and I got it from one of the girls from the Alani Facebook group. There are Alani Facebook groups, there's Hawaii Facebook groups. I'm in all of them, not all of them, but I'm in a few of them. And she had shared this in the Alani group. She made a little checklist for her daughter, and she said mainly for her so she wouldn't forget the things she wanted to do while she was there. So I decided to do one myself. And so I did this on Canva, and I printed it, glued it onto cardstock, and then laminated it. And it's a half sheet. And then I hole punched the corner and got one of these like ring clips. And then I found these Sharpies that are like detachable right there. They had a pack of 12 on Amazon. So I got those. Everybody has one of these. So I made 4 of these for me and the kiddos. But I am so proud of this, and they have no idea. I have surprises for them for the plane, and this is one of them. So this is, I just did a cover sheet for the Medero families checklist for 2023. And I made it on Canva, it was free. And so then the first page, I already showed you this one, but this is the Oahu map. Again, found it online. I just took that one. And then I gave them a picture of the islands because I wanted them to see where are we going. So we're going to Oahu. There are all the islands, but this is the one we're going to. And then I did our schedule. So I'll share that in a separate video. What is our itinerary? Like, what is it looking like if you're wanting to know? And then I'll do a video afterwards, like how did it go and all the things. But I have an itinerary with confirmation numbers and all of the addresses and phone numbers, and I thought they don't want that. So I did it again on Canva. I put Alani's picture up here, June 2023. And then I took photos of all of the places that we're going, like Pearl Harbor, Leonard's Bakery, Shave Ice, Alani. And then I did each day. So I've got our different days and then our activities, so they can kind of know. And then the back has it too. And then I have our checklists. So this, let me see if I can scoot forward here. Our food checklist of all the places we plan on doing, and they can check it off once they've done it. And I don't know if they're going to be into this or not. I just thought it was the coolest thing because I'm a planner. And then this is the island adventure. So all the things that we plan to do around the island. And then Alani. And then this side, the last one is the other side, all the things that we plan to do at Alani. So many fun things. Just stuff I've been doing to prepare to get ready. As I've been planning different things, I've been printing off everything. I just have this, we haven't traveled far as a family. We've done cruises, we've done Disney, as you know, and we did New York, which was really out of our comfort zone. We'd never done that before, but this is the first time we're traveling far with the kids. I've been to China and I've been to Israel a long time ago. But in 2020 was when we were planning on starting to venture out further with our family. And then when the world shut down, you know, took a step back, like, we're just going to enjoy our backyard. So now we're venturing out, and I just don't know if our internet's going to work great because we're out in the middle of the ocean. Probably fine. So I don't know if my email will be able to access everything. So I just printed everything and put it in a booklet. And so I'm going to share my itinerary and what we're planning on doing. But I printed confirmations for everything, and it's all in here, so I'll have that in my bag. Anyway, if you have any questions, if I have the answers, I'd be happy to answer. Put them in the comment section down below. But thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for being with me. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.